Been known 100 years as Strawberry Canyon, and for the first time in a long time, it produces a competitive football team and a enthusiastic crowd. And on the field right now, our colleague Todd Harris.
All right, thank you very much, Keith. We'll have a slow start. Mike Bellotti and his Oregon Ducks are on a 4-game winning streak. Coach, why do you think you're such a big underdog, though, coming into this game?
I don't know. It must be because we're the visiting team. I think it's more about Cal right now than Oregon, and that's something we hope to fix today.
Talk about your team, though. They have been on a tear, though, the last 4 games, and you guys have really owned this team since really the early 90s.
Well, we played very well, played great defense. Our offense has stopped turning the ball over and eliminated penalties, and that's what we have to do today to have a chance to win.
Good luck to you. We'll see you at halftime.
Thank you.
Keith, back up to you.
All right, Todd, thanks very much. The Oregon Ducks won the toss. They want the football. They want the first offensive possession. The referee today is Jack Wood. And we'll give you the rest of this Pac-10 crew in a moment. Jared Siegel was out here a little while ago swinging his leg just in case he was called on to kick early, but he won't be. It'll be Anthony Benswinger putting it up there. Kenny Washington there and Ryan Shaw are the 2 deep people for the Oregon Ducks, and you see the numbers on Kenny Washington. He can bring it back in a hurry. Benswinger will kick it off as a redshirt freshman, and he is from Concord, California. There's a lot of folks in this ball game from the area of Concord today. The kick is high, and it is long, and it's way in the back of the end zone, and it will not be returned. So Oregon will have the first possession starting at their own 20-yard line. And here's a look at Kellen Clemens, who has found himself and has become the leader of this football team. No question about it. The little note down there at the bottom of that profile is what scares the defensive coordinators the most. 161 rushing yards, because he's a big enough guy and he will pull it down and take off with it, and sometimes 5-6 yards can break your back. So that's what worries them. They go to the run. This is Whitehead. Whitehead is hit at the 21, falls forward to the 22. Let's take a look at the FedEx starting lineups now. For the Oregon Ducks, the backs and receivers, Whitehead's the principal running back. Rosario is a pretty good receiver coming out of the backfield. Tim Day is a big tight end. Cameron Colvin getting a starting today. He is a true freshman. Here's your offensive front for the Oregon Ducks, and it's pretty good size. Robin Knievel is a little tender at center, but otherwise they're fine. Big enough to handle anybody. And Kellen Clemens on a roll to the right side. Finds some daylight, and there he goes. That's what the coordinators worry about, and he's just fast enough that he can break a big play. Tom Sverchak brought him down. The defensive secondary now for the defensive line for California. Goodwin. These guys make tackles at the line of scrimmage. They're the leading tackling defensive front 4 in the country right now. The linebackers are also very busy and have a lot of tackles. Secondary guys, good. Harrison Smith is the one that's growing. Gutierrez is very good. Giordano is solid, and so is Hughes. Remember, California is not ranked 4th in the country for no reason. And the pass is completed just over the 30-yard line to that freshman, Cameron Colvin. And he's knocked out of bounds, but you can move your chains.
Yeah, Coleman last week against the Washington Huskies caught 4 passes on the first drive. It ended with a touchdown reception. So the freshman from De La Salle High School off to a good start as the Ducks convert on that 3rd down. But Keith, the key play was that 2nd down run by Kellen Clemens. Andy Ludwig says for the Ducks to win today, Clemens must run the ball.
And it's important probably to plant that idea early on, huh?
Absolutely.
Out of the eye now. A little flip over to Whitehead. Cuts it back inside that defensive end. And he's going to pick up the better part of 6 yards before Ryan Gutierrez brings him down. And Ryan Gutierrez brings a lot of people down during the course of a football game. At the linebacking spot now for California, they've made a change. Joe Meningo is in there. He's got good foot speed.
Well, Meningo and Sid Slater, they alternate at middle linebacker spot, as does Francis Bly-Meza and Ryan Foltz at the weak linebacker spot. So Cal always is keeping fresh people on that defense.
Call it 2nd down, and it's 5. As Clemens turns and gives to his tailback, and there's another 1st down for the Oregon Ducks, and that one went right up the middle. Whitehead is 210-pound junior out of Los Angeles. but he's getting a whole lot of help in the middle of that line from Stites, Kadibel, and Reynoso.
Yeah, and you can see number 72 there. That's Adam Snyder. He's a tackle with great mobility, great size, 6'6", 325. But he can get out and move. That was a little tackle trap there. One of Terrence Whitehead's favorite plays. That's why he's the third leading rusher in this conference.
And Tim Day lines up alongside of him. I mean, the field tilts. They're big people. Clemens back. Looked like he might want a screen. Now does go for one, and it goes to Whitehead incomplete. Knocked away. Ryan Riddle was the defender from California that was putting the heat on the Oregon quarterback. Bob Gregory, defensive coordinator, California, had this comment on the Oregon Ducks and their offense.
They do, we call some bunch stuff, where they get all those receivers in there nice and tight. And luckily, we've seen that stuff the last couple weeks, so that's helped prepare us. More option than what we see out of Clemens. So they certainly more screens. They throw a whole bunch of screens at you.
Hands the ball to Whitehead. Look at that move. Not bad. He was going right into a stack, and all of a sudden he realized he had two buddies over there, so he went back inside and made something out of it.
Yeah, he plays with a real attitude, kind of a chip on his shoulder that helps motivate him, and he refuses to let the first man tackle him. He's not a slasher. Watch his job here as he sees the problem with this counter move, makes Alexander miss, then gets up the field, picks his way for yardage.
They're down and 6. Wants to throw, tackle behind the line of scrimmage. This time the Bear defenders got to him. Alexander and Ryan Riddle were the leaders on that charge, and that'll bring up a kicking down for the Oregon Ducks. So 3rd and 6, they couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, excellent coverage by the Bears in the secondary. Clemens, coming off his primary receiver, did not have the time to find an outlet receiver.
Tim Mixon, who is a defensive back waiting for the punt. And the punt is away by David Dittman. It's going to hit right on the chalk and go out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. When he quits walking, I'll tell you where, the 19. First down for the California Bears at their own 19-yard line for their first possession. Aaron Rodgers, Jr., 6'2", 220 pounds, Chico, California, his home. You can see his numbers, 23 straight completions. Remember that in the game that they lost by 6 points to Southern California, but they were knocking on the door with the last play of the game. That was the game, I think, that convinced everybody this team has some real quality.
Certainly convinced us.
1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Rodgers turns, hands the ball off to J.J. Arrington. Mike Bellotti says Arrington's a guy who runs like he's angry. Brought down by Ramon Reed. The FedEx starting lineups now for California. The backs and receivers will shape up this way. There you see Arrington. He's a good-sized guy, too. He's 230. Mandarino is a good blocking fullback. Stevens in there at tight end because Garrett Cross has a very sore leg. Jeff MacArthur is the veteran in that group. The offensive front has been very good. The middle of the bunch there are quite good and quick. The tackles are big, and they're also tough. They have no problem running inside those tackles because they'll give them some room. Rodgers quickly goes to the freshman wideout Robert Jordan, who had a big ball game against Arizona State, and that's the first down for California at their 34-yard line.
Well, because of injuries to the Cal wide receivers, freshmen have to step up, and Robert Jordan stepped up most than anybody. He had 5 catches 2 weeks ago against Arizona, then had 7 last week against Arizona State, including a touchdown reception. That's a great start for Cal on offense to get the young freshman receiver going with his first reception.
They empty the backfield now, and they've got 5 receivers, all standing. So they spread the Oregon defense. Ball thrown very quickly to Mandarino out of the backfield. And in the foot race, he goes all the way down to the 30-yard line. First down, California.
Well, what happened there, Keith, is Aaron Rodgers saw the blitz coming. There was only one defensive back on that side of the field. It was Finnessy. And Rodgers, watch the blitz come here. Mandarino's going to come in behind it and get this sight adjustment. And then you look up and you'll see only one defensive back on that side of the field, number 31. So Jeff Tedford is, guess is right, and Aaron Rodgers executes perfectly.
36 yards on the play. They start with the same alignment. Now they bring some people into the backfield. Make the Oregon defense move around. While you're moving, you're guessing, and they find a big hole, and that's a touchdown for J.J. Arrington. Nobody touched him. Mandarino threw a big block. Murs a big block.
And Jonathan Giesel with a huge block at right guard here. Watch him trap. You talked about the movement before the ball was snapped. Look at this trap block right there. That's why J.J. Arrington goes untouched for his 12th rushing touchdown of the year.
Now the point try. Schneider. Tom Schneider is another redshirt freshman who's playing a lot, and the kick is good. Through the haze of the Pacific lies San Francisco. 7-0. California gets out to the early start over Oregon, and the day is just gorgeous. Sitting here in our broadcast booth, I cannot see a cloud.
That scoring drive for California, they got stopped on their first play, just a 1-yard run by Arrington. Then they go 14 yards to Jordan, 36 yards on a pass play to Mandarino, and then that 30-yard touchdown run by J.J. Arrington. And I'd say the first round of this Familiarity Bowl goes to that man right there.
Ben Swinger will kick it off, and the deep people remain Washington and Shaw for Oregon. Kicks away. That one's certainly returnable. It's been picked off at about the 13-yard line by Ryan Shaw. And Shaw's going to bring it out and give the Ducks a much better starting point than they had previously. So the Ducks come up now, and you've got the same alignment. Whitehead is the deep back. Gets some help back there, and Kellen Clemens will put it in the air to the tight end, Tim Day, and he's a horse. I'll tell you what, he throws a forearm shiver that will give Ryan Gutierrez some memories. Then Clemens pass. Oh, it's a beauty. And again, it's that big tight end just out-muscling people. Tim Day stands 6'4", weighs 268, and he is a load.
He may have a few more biscuits than that 268 too, Keith. What an athletic play by the quarterback. First, Kellen Clemens under a lot of duress just kind of fling that ball sidearm, and then Day with two big plays in a row. You go back to that short flat pass he caught, and the exclamation point with that forearm he put on Ryan Gutierrez. That's why the Ducks are in Bear territory.
First time today they've been on the California side of midfield. Clemens on an option down the line. He's going to keep it and pick up another first down. Go inside the 35. Down to the 33. First down, Oregon.
Yeah, Clemens showing what it's all about. Very nifty in the pocket. He leads the Pac-10 in total offense at 271 yards a game. But it's the option that Oregon runs with him. He makes the perfect decision, and then no hesitation gets up the field for a big first down to keep this drive going. You feel the momentum off of two athletic plays made by quarterback Kellen Clemens.
Clemens is not a gimme. He's 6'2", 215 pounds. So when he gets his feet under him, he can move it. Throwing. Hands out there all by himself. That's number 44 out of the backfield. Rosario, the fullback, Dante Rosario. I told you he was a good receiver, and you'll see that a lot from him. And California had just simply ignored him on that play. There was nobody around him. The reason we told you too early on was the toughness of Clemens and why, and Bob Gregory can define it for you in this statement.
He's more mobile, I think. I think he creates those problems in terms of running around. And, you know, if it's not there, he may drop back. If it's not there, he'll take off and run. whereas some of the guys want to stay back there a little bit quicker. He's going to tuck that ball and go.
Down the middle it goes, and the pass is completed. And again, it's Rosario coming out of the backfield and brought down by Ryan Gutierrez.
Now the Ducks have had 5 plays on this drive, Keith, and 4 of them have resulted in first downs. Rosario, very valuable part of this Oregon offense. As a fullback, as a wingback, we see him outside, wide, and here he's just the outlet receiver over the middle. 21 catches now for Rosario.
Whitehead, 1-yard line. Ryan Gutierrez stopped him from the touchdown, but the middle was carved wide open by those big interior guys.
And again, it's a trap block by a tackle this time, Keith. Number 72 is Adam Snyder, and right up the middle, almost into the end zone. Great tackle there by Giordano.
Whitehead deep. Clemens throws, lobs it into the corner of the end zone. It's a touchdown to Day. Tim Day pulls it in. He was out there by himself by 2 yards. Whitehead was in blocking, gave the quarterback time to drop it over the head of the defender, and the Ducks respond to the California touchdown.
Do they ever respond? In the flat here for the fullback, and then Day goes to the corner. And the offensive line does a great job of giving Clemens time. Look at this touch. We're seeing Kellen Clemens, a hot quarterback, making plays in the pocket, throwing sidearm on the option, and then the touch pass for the touchdown.
Jared Siegel for the extra point. Brady Leaf holds it. They were anticipating a crowd of some 60,000. The football life here in California has grown quite exciting with the arrival of Jeff Tedford and his coaching staff, and some freshmen and some junior college players and a few things like that. But the most important thing, of course, the number of wins.
And they're fun to watch, offensively and defensively.
Siegel, onside kick, fight for it, penalty flag. Let's see about who's got it, and then we'll see about the penalty. Did it go 10 before somebody touched it? Well, that's a considered risk at this point in the game.
Yeah, that just shows you that Oregon's willing to get into a shootout with Cal, because if they don't get this ball, Cal obviously has great field position. Penalty flag was thrown.
But Washington State started a game last week in the dark of night in Pullman with a 2-yard onside kick that blew up in them in their hand, and USC jumped out.
Illegal block on the kicking team.
But who recovered the ball?
The block happened before the ball came down. It hits the ground, and I've never seen this call before. Watch the block right there. There's the recovery.
By the kicking team. Block occurred prior to the ball going 10 yards. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. You'll replay the kick.
And there's a break for Oregon. But who had the ball? We never did hear who recovered the ball. No. But the block is made before, right there. Yep. The ball goes 10 yards. That's why, and I'm not so sure that's a correct call, because the Oregon player was past the 10-yard mark when he touched the ball.
But the block occurred before, and thus the penalty occurred before, and then they will move them back and re-kick it with a 5-yard penalty.
That's an amazing call, because Oregon really gets a break here because they get to re-kick it. Obviously they must have recovered this.
They did. I think Paysinger, wasn't it, had the ball. The rule book is so dadgum complicated now, with so many judgment calls written into the rules that, oh.
Well, I know you've seen a million college games and pro games, and I've seen maybe a tenth of that. That's the first time I've ever seen that call.
That's me too.
But it's the attitude of the call. It's the confidence of Oregon, and also willing to do anything to get an edge on an opponent that knows you as well as he knows his own brother.
Well, there are 4 members, actually 6 total people who are on the either staff or in an associate level that Jeff Tedford brought here, all having Oregon experience. Of course, Jeff was Mike Belotti's offensive coordinator for 4 years before he came down here. Siegel will kick it again and again. He pooches it up in the air, going for the onside-er, and the California man goes up and makes the catch, and it'll be California ball. So they didn't lose their appetite for that kind of a play, as Tag McCurdy just simply went up and caught it. And now here are the Bears sitting on the Oregon side of the field with the ball. Well, I'm not surprised. It's Arrington, and he's got wings on his heels as he goes through there, down to about the 41-yard line. Valenzuela makes the tackle for the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon defense, they're a pretty good story. That front 4, those guys are making have 125 tackles in the front 4. That's almost unheard of. And the linebackers have 122 tackles, so you're not getting far from the line of scrimmage if you're running against these people without getting tackled. That says a lot, because that means they're getting a push. But this time they missed the tackle, and it's Arrington outside and inside the 25-yard line. He broke the tackle of Jerry Maxson, who is Oregon's leading tackler, the linebacker, and that's another big run by JJ.
Not only did he make Matson miss at the line of scrimmage, he makes the freshman Jackie Bates miss. Here's Matson right here. Watch, he's got a real good shot at stopping Arrington for a short gain. It's a little bit of a push there from Craig Stevens, the tight end. There's Bates missing with a bad angle, and Cal's in business again.
That's 57 yards on 4 carries with a touchdown for Arrington. And Terrell Williams is in the backfield now as JJ gets a breath, and Aaron Rodgers throws too high and beyond the reach of anybody on that side of the field. He's looking at that Jordan again. Jordan's 5'11", 160 pounds, and Gibson was defending on the play, and Aaron's finally found somebody who's his size. He's 5'9".
You know, I think we ought to get back to all those games that we've watched. Keith, have you ever seen 2 onside kicks back-to-back in the first quarter?
I have seen that.
In the first quarter?
Well, I don't remember.
Okay.
How about that?
All right, well.
But I have seen back-to-back onside kicks, and they were not as successful as the one we just saw. Arrington is back in. They empty the backfield immediately behind the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers steps back, looks, now throws, and it's rolling around loose. There's no catch on the play. It was defended by Aaron Gibson again against Jordan. They were trying to give Jordan some help over here in a semblance of a screen, and it didn't work.
Yeah, the timing. This is a timing offense for the Bears, and Aaron Rodgers has just a great rapport with his receivers, but he's had to create a new situation with all these freshmen. Now, you lose Chase Lyman, you lose McConan, you lose Burl Toller, and now you're playing with Noah Smith and Robert Jordan, guys that aren't used to his timing, and Oregon right that time was all over that screen pass.
And Oregon's also all over Jeff MacArthur because he's the only veteran out there in a wide receiver position. Ducks may have penetrated the neutral zone because the flag flies. Ball is thrown to the end zone, and that ball was intended for the tight end, but it fell incomplete. And now let's see about the flag. It was Rust, the intended receiver.
Prior to the snap, full start. Offense number 87.
Well, there you go.
Penalty,
Yep. The intended receiver was offsides. John Rust, whose daddy, by the way, Jack Rust, was a offensive tackle for the Oregon Ducks in the late 60s.
These two schools recruit heavily in the same general area. That's why one of the reasons why you find so many people from the Bay Area and so many youngsters from De La Salle High School on both these two teams.
Well, when you win 151 straight games, you're going to have a lot of recruits from your high school.
I reckon there's quality. Rodgers. Tight end. Touchdown. Craig Stevens.
Now the Ducks are getting no pass rush from their front four. They're getting burned in the secondary. Unlikely target for Aaron Rodgers. Craig Stevens, number 82. Just his second catch of the year, first touchdown reception, and he gets behind the linebackers, and there's nobody home. What a catch.
Kick is good by Schneider.
I think Belotti's going to really regret using that second onside kick, giving the Bears such great field position after really dodging that old bullet with the penalty and getting to re-kick on the first onside kick.
Well, as we said a little while ago, it's a chess game. You try to do something they're not expecting. It's not what you do. There's nothing new in football, really. It's not what you do, it's when you do it.
And how well.
And how well you do it, yeah. That's returnable from the 11-yard line. Here comes Ryan Shaw, breaks the pack, pops in the open. On his way down the sidelines, loses his balance and hits the chalk at the 38-yard line of California. If he stays upright, he could have scored maybe.
You know, his legs got going so fast when he got by the kicker,
right.
He just kind of ran himself into the ground. Ryan Shaw, number 27, the son of the former San Diego Charger defensive back Pete Shaw, turning on the Jets here for 52 yards. You got to give Binswanger a lot of credit for scaring Shaw into that tackle. Great field position for the Ducks. You know, this has got that shootout feeling, Keith.
Yeah, it sure does. Oregon answered the last time. Let's see if they can do it again. 14-7, California leading. Time remaining, 5:52, first quarter. Cal with 6 men up front. And Kellens puts air under it. Touchdown, Oregon. Rosario out of the backfield. They lost him completely, and he went in untouched.
Keith, we talked about his versatility. Can play tailback, fullback, wingback, wide receiver. This time he actually lined up as a tight end and was totally turned loose. Here he is right here. After the fake here, look at the pass protection for Clemens. He turns around and he sees a wide open number 44. And this is a young man who's 6'4", 247, runs like a deer.
He's got some time coming on Sunday, I think, this fella. Yet a lot of people probably don't know about it. Jared Siegel. The point, good. So, bingo. Cal scores, Oregon scores. Well, the question just rippled through the booth. Are we going to see a third onside kick?
Now that would really surprise them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'll be another quick California touchdown, probably. I don't know. You can always tell, though, I think, if you see the first 2 steps of that kicker, what they're going to do with it. He's gonna whack it. Well, he's trying to get it up, though. He doesn't want those Cal guys to get. They fumbled it.
That's why you pooch kick. Get that receiver thinking about those guys coming down the field. They're digging and scratching for this one right now. There's fur and feathers flying.
Oregon ball.
Feathers got it. Special teams really coming into play here in the first quarter with the back-to-back onside kick, the long kickoff return by Ryan Shaw, and now the fumble.
Terrell Williams coming up under the ball at the high hanging pooch kick, spinning, just really spinning, and he didn't handle it.
Anthony Trucks was the first Duck down underneath this one to try to dig it out, but there's no telling who finally came up with it in a white jersey.
So the California offense has done their 2 touchdowns. Now Oregon with its special teams playing brilliantly, and they've got a chance to take the lead for the first time. From the 27-yard line. That's a gain of about 3. Meningo making the tackle on Whitehead. Here it's 14-14. California, the number 4 team in the country. Kellen Clemens pulls it down, takes off, and gets it down close to the 10-yard line before he gets walloped by Ryan Gutierrez. The BCS standings brought to you by Allstate. Here's a look at how they start play today. Southern California plays tonight. Oklahoma, as you heard, trailing Texas A&M 14-0 down in College Station. Auburn is 3. And then comes California. There's your second 5. Utah sitting in there in the number 6 position and becoming quite a story. First down for Oregon on the 16-yard line. Clemens whisked into the end zone. Touchdown, Tim Day. No contest when the big horse goes down there and the ball's right on his numbers.
He's got such a big body, he can position himself to shield the defender away from him. But on this pass, I don't care how close you were going to be to Tim Day. This ball is perfect. Here he is right here. It's a post route for the tight end. Again, great pass protection for Clemens. What a move by the big guy. Great move to the outside, just froze the defender. When he turned around, the ball was right between the 8 and the 5.
He can make a fan out of me, that fella. Boy, he's pretty good.
Clemens now, his last 3 passes have all been touchdowns, Keith.
And he hits the goalpost. Jared Siegel kicked it right into the right upright. The ball comes this way, which means it ain't no good.
Special teams. It looked like a pooch kickoff on the extra point try by Jared Siegel. He's only missed 1 all year. He's going to hit this post right about there. Not blocked, just pushed.
You know what? I'd like to see him do it again. He could stand out there a week and probably not hit it that solid. But he did when it counted. And so California is down by 6.
How about this first quarter for Kellen Clemens? 8 out of 9, 105 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 carries on the ground for 23 more yards. And after that recovery by the Ducks on the last kickoff, they're just going right at the Bears. Nobody has attacked this Bear defense as the Ducks have in this first quarter.
Kelly Hayes just jumped out of the booth. It was Robin Knebel, number 79.
And he's battled a high ankle sprain all week. They weren't even sure if he was going to be able to play today.
Reynoso moves over now to do the snapping for the Oregon Ducks. So they have to shuffle. Neil Zambuco's always had that offensive line filled with people who can do more than one kind of a job. This is a pass complete to Whitehead. Whitehead's going to have a first down, and it'll be near the 45-yard line. Sverchek made the tackle for California.
And it's important on that play to give that new offensive line, the new guy coming in, confidence. A quick 3-step drop by Clemens. He got the ball out quickly, and the Ducks pick up a first down. The other thing about this is that this guy right here, that's Tim Day. So he's back in the lineup for Oregon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. Out to Whitehead, wide open.
Well, that's not open. Guy down at the bottom of the stack, number 90, made that first hit and spoiled that play, though. Ryan Riddle. He didn't get the tackle, but he's the one that spoiled it. The tackle went to Ray Tago. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each of these teams. Chevrolet making a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. You guys might get some snow in Indianapolis this time of the year, huh? Kelly Hayes and Marcamento off to go for Monday Night Football. Enoka Lewis might have wiggled a little and got some attention from the defense. He's mumbling to
Good
himself.
ball. Full start. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
Well, what the Ducks have had to do, adjusting that offensive line because Knebel goes out. Reynoso goes to center, and now Enoka Lucas comes in, and he was the center before, but he hurt his finger, so he cannot snap. He's playing right guard, and he was offsides.
Looking at the back of De La Grange. There's Knebel getting some treatment. He is wide too, 335-pound tackle. Second down and 18 now for Oregon. The ball is thrown out here to Whitehead, and he's wide open. First man missed him. Second man took him down, but he's right on the first down marker, and I think he's bailed him out again. Donnie McCleskey could not hold him from the marker and move the chain.
They're almost alternating great plays. Cal stops him on the previous play. Watch the blitz here right now, and Whitehead will go right between the blitzers. Clemens looks at it the whole way, Meningo and McCleskey goes, oh my, that's my man. And by making the first guy miss right here, Whitehead picks up a first down.
Sid Slater missed him. Kellen Clemens looking around, going down the middle. The ball's a little bit high, and Kyle Weatherspoon could not track it down.
Yeah, well, it was Cal's turn to have a good play on defense. Oregon had a good play before that.
First quarter, we had 34 points scored, and Oregon leading 20-14. But here in the second quarter, the defense has stepped up on both sides, and it's become a bit of a slugfest. But the home run hitters are still on the field, so we'll see. There's 5 minutes. The way they've been playing, they could score 21 points in that period of time. Who knows? Here they got him bunched up on that left side. They hand the ball off, and look at this. Whitehead just kept on pounding, and all of a sudden the tackle broke. And he went on downfield another 10 yards, and it's first down for the Oregon Ducks at the California 28-yard line.
Well, we talked about him being the third leading rusher in the conference, having a heck of an afternoon against a very good Bear defense. He really kind of picks his way and keeps his legs driving. Good trap block again as Oregon running the tackle trap to really a lot of success so far, but dragging tacklers. Whitehead now has the Ducks inside the 30.
And he has 77 yards on the day in the first half. Clemens option down and tackled, penalty flag call. Ryan Riddle is the man that got that sack. He broke through and brought him down.
Lorenzo Alexander lost his helmet. Umpire Matt Jordan III called this penalty.
Holding Oregon.
Makes you wonder if they were holding Alexander's hat, ripping it off his head.
The other officials in the game today, head linesman Cleo Robinson, Manuel Alonso, the line judge, side judge Mike McCabe, David Becker, field judge, and Gary LaForge, the back judge.
Offense, number 59. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
And Jack Wood, of course, the referee.
And penalties have been a real problem for Oregon this entire year, averaging about 9 a game, which is about 4 too many. Seen 2 penalties already on this drive.
It'll be first down and 20. Holding being a 10-yard penalty.
And that 10-yard penalty takes Siegel out of his field goal range.
Kellen Clemens looking. And he got something out of it. Sid Slater finally brought him down, but he was out there a good long time by himself and had just enough juice to keep him from jumping him. Now we want to answer the Aflac trivia question, which was name the former Cal quarterback who's presently the editor of the Hattiesburg, Mississippi American editorial page, and your answer is Rich Kemble. Quarterback for the Bears, 1977 through 1980. Rich Kemble runs the editorial page of the Hattiesburg American newspaper. I'm sure these kids on this football team don't care. This is Clemens taken off. He's got a first down, and he's caught from behind and finally taken down right about the 10-yard line, and that's another first down. Joe Meningo finally got him down.
Yeah, and he juked Ryan Gutierrez and then ran around him. He's run this quarterback draw a number of times today. Gutierrez, this is Gutierrez's shadow right there. Breaks the tackle right there. Now the great move, the straight arm, the speed, and he ain't going out of bounds. You don't go out of bounds when you're from Burns, Oregon.
You'd have a hard time getting a donut when you go home. Whitehead is having a big half. He's in there as the deep back. It's first down just outside the California 10-yard line. Kellen Clemens throws. Tim Day, the big tight end, catches. He'll go to the 7-yard line on the reception, and it'll be second down.
Another key block by Terrence Whitehead to give Clemens time to get this ball off. Day goes out. Whitehead steps up, blocks Meningo, and the Ducks are at the 7-yard line. But look how tough it is to bring down the 270-pounder.
Ryan Gutierrez had the pleasure that time. Got him down. Clemens, quarterback draw. Touchdown. Penalty flag. There's a penalty flag in his wake from the referee's pocket. Against Oregon. No touchdown.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Number 74 is Nick Stites, who we thought was injured a while ago. Turned out to be the center Knievel. He's having his ankle retaped.
6th penalty against the Ducks so far. 74 is Stites working against Sverchek. And that's a very good call by our referee, as he hooked Sverchek and let Clemens go by.
And the ball comes back to the 17-yard line. Clemens throws quickly, ball caught by Whitehead. Whitehead is planted by Gutierrez.
Well, there's one thing for sure about Oregon's offense. They know when Cal is blitzing, and they know that Whitehead is the hot receiver. It's about 4 times now so far. Helmet to helmet hit there by Ryan Gutierrez. But again, Oregon back inside the 10-yard line.
And it is 3rd and 7 for the Ducks at near the California 7. Thrown to the end zone. Touchdown. Gimme. Marcus Maxwell broke free. Nobody around him. Just a little lofted spiral, and he caught it easily.
Clemens now 15 out of 24 touchdowns, and they've all come in different variety. What a timing pass here. Here is Maxwell to the corner of the end zone. Watch how soon Clemens cuts this ball loose. I mean, he's not even into the second part of his route, and so soft to the fingertips. Perfect pass.
So the senior from Hercules has a happy moment. California jumps to a 12-point lead. They'll go for the 1. Snyder hits it good. Those big old linemen, they won't drop the ball. They just won't do it. Terrell Williams and Marshawn Lynch are the deep people. Lynch can be pretty exciting. Well, both can, but particularly Lynch. And they get a lot of air under the kickoff again. They don't want him running around with it. From the 8-yard line, here goes Lynch with the ball. Up to the 25-yard line. So making him run all the way across the field increase the opportunities for the Ducks, and they bring him down, but it's still pretty good field position for California. Back. Rogers puts it in the air, has a man open. The ball is caught. Penalty flag goes down. I think you're going to find he lost his shoe, looks like, and lost his traction. That was Jeff MacArthur. MacArthur's the one man on the field for California that can make that kind of play.
And he needed to make that play for Cal to get him good field position. Working against number 5, Aaron Gibson. They're going to get Gibson for pass interference right there. Good call. What concentration. But watch him blow a tire right there, and down he goes.
Defense, number 28. Penalty is declined.
They'll take the play, and that puts the ball on the Oregon 45-yard line with a first down. If it had been face mask, they could have tacked it on. But it wasn't.
Did not call the pass interference.
Refused it. David Gray is in the field now. The ball is thrown to this side and just off the hands of the intended receiver, Sam Desai.
Desai is a redshirt freshman, only one catch on the year. You can see the frustration on the face of Aaron Rodgers. You know, he's without the guys he practiced with all summer. Chase Lyman, McConan, Burl Toller. So the timing just a little bit off.
MacArthur is back in now, having either replaced the shoe or retied it. 2nd down and 10 for the Bears. Oregon 45. Go to Arrington, and the Ducks handle him now. He got off to a pretty good start, but the Oregon's put the clamps on him. That's a 5-yard gain down to the 40. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Those are big clamps too. That's Aloti Nata making another play.
There's your 1st down to Jeff MacArthur. And MacArthur will take it down near the 20.
Tennessee ripped the ball loose, but the official saying that MacArthur was down. What I don't understand is why is Oregon letting MacArthur be covered with just one defender? You've got a double team number 6 and play single coverage on these freshmen. Tennessee trying to drop him, push him off his route to begin with. That's just playing with your quarterback year after year, knowing that you're going to come up short and the ball is going to be thrown short.
MacArthur had to leave the field, Dan, holding his arm a little bit, or shoulder. So he's not in there right now. On the throw past the intended receiver, Craig Stevens, and beyond him considerably with 57 seconds left to play. The board across the way had 4th down. So they finally get that straightened out. So there's a little bit of a mess on that whole side as MacArthur is out of the game, slightly injured. He's walking it off and coming back. They need him.
And they could also use Garrett Cross, their senior tight end, but he hurt his leg in practice on Wednesday. So Craig Stevens is in there and misconnected that time with his quarterback.
You got Jordan over here on this side now, the freshman, true freshman, who had a big game last week. Pressure coming. Rodgers steps up, throws to the end zone. He's wide open. MacArthur. How in the world did he get that open?
Well, they ran 2 men down that side of the field. John Rush was the tight end on that side of the field, and he took the safety with him. This is that cover 2 type of coverage. Safety late getting over. Here's Russ. Here's MacArthur. That puts this man in a bind, and the safety's got to come over and pay attention to Cal's leading wide receiver.
The kick by Schneider is good. And so, boom, with 52 seconds to go now, California is back in the hunt at 27-21, trailing by just 6.
All Jeff MacArthur did on that drive is catch 3 passes for 70 yards and a touchdown. And nobody else on the team has more than 1 catch. Watch the tight end come down the middle. That's Rust. Middle linebacker trying to run with him is Jerry Matson, and there is a wide open Jeff MacArthur for his 5th touchdown reception of the season.
So it may be that California's the one going to the clubhouse at halftime all jacked up.
You know, and they did that drive, Keith, without using any timeouts. That shows you just how efficient this pass offense of Jeff Tedford's really is. But I don't understand why you got a receiver like MacArthur not being double covered.
Capital One halftime show at hand. Big story back in the middle of the country down in Texas is A&M and Oklahoma having a Donnybrook, and we got one going here between California and Oregon, and that's well back. Coming out though, it's Ryan Shaw. He's cut down with some authority at about the 16-yard line. The wedge buster did his job, and the man going with him took down the return man. And here's Oregon with 47 seconds to play in the half.
Ducks have all 3 timeouts, but they are backed up here. You do not want to have a turnover here and give Cal even more momentum going into halftime.
It didn't look to me like they're going to air it out. They're going to take a knee. And that's what they're going to do. California has 1 timeout remaining. I don't know that the Bears want to mess around here and spend the timeout. I mean, there's probably no point, because Oregon will just take another knee, and that'll do it. You only need 1 more. May not even need, well, yeah, you got to do it once more. There it is. And just for fun, somebody pushed somebody and knocked the quarterback over, but no harm, no foul. As time runs out here to end the first half of play, we have had 48 points scored in the ball game. Oregon is leading California 27-21 at halftime. It's a ball game in which we have had 48 points scored in the first half, 27-21. Oregon leading California. So much for defense.
Yeah, that's how we came on the air talking about these great defenses, and the offenses have had the upper hand, and it's creative offense on both sides. One question though for Cal right now: Jeff MacArthur made that touchdown catch at the end of the first half, hurt his shoulder the play before that. If he can't play in the second half, Aaron Rodgers is really going to be tested.
Indeed, because the freshmen have not stepped up. Well, the sun fading a little bit as we go to the second half. The shadows will creep out onto the field as we were along here in the second half, and they're going along at a rather prolonged pace, I might say, but there's been 48 points scored, and that's why. Jared Siegel kicks it off as California gets the ball to start the second half of play, and it will be returned by Marshawn Lynch. Lynch is hit once, hit twice, and then goes down at the 25-yard line. And here's Todd Harris.
All right, Keith, I talked with Coach Mike Bellotti at halftime in a very pensive mood, and he told me during this week he stepped up and told Kellen Clemens, this is your game. This is time for you to make a stand and make a statement, and it's exactly what Kellen's done in the first half. He's very pleased with that. He did say, however, that his defense, somewhat Jekyll and Hyde. One series, they're very strong. The next series, they seem to disappear. He'd like to get some more consistency out of his defense. Keith.
Thank you, sir. The big defensive guys up front, the big 4 up there, they're not really boxed Cal's ears like they have some of the other people in the late going of the season. But right now, California probably has decided that we're going to attack them, and the best way to attack them is go right at them. And that was J.J. Arrington picking up 5 yards.
And he was contacted at about 1 yard, and just that whole pile, just like almost a rugby scrum, pushed Oregon back, where Arrington ended up with that 5-yard gain.
They come up now with double wide to the bottom of your picture there. Jeff MacArthur is out there on the field, and he is one of those wide to this side, but they run it to the other side, and popping out of the stack is J.J. Arrington. Move the chains. That's the first down out to the 36. Aaron Rodgers is also looking at another problem as the Cal quarterback if MacArthur is dinged up and can't play much. It was MacArthur that helped them down the field to that 21st point, but he's got a bad shoulder. We know that. And Aaron Rodgers says this about his young wide receivers, the freshmen.
The guys just with more experience and more confidence. I'm just been stroking them in practice, trying to build up their self-esteem and confidence in practice, and we've been working on our timing. They've been having great weeks of practice, so I think they're just going to keep getting better as we get more experience. And we still got Jeff, we still got Garrett, and we still got a run game which is going to make them put 8 guys in the box. So we're going to have a lot of one-on-one coverages, which is going to be a lot better situation for them.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do right now, make Oregon get 7, 8 people up there, even 9 sometimes, as Marshawn Lynch came in to replace and give J.J. Arrington a bit of a breather. Lynch is a 200-pounder, not quite as big as Arrington, but he is very elusive.
And he's working behind an offensive line. Jim Mihalchek, the offensive line coach, told me that his philosophy is very simple. He wants to control the tempo of the game with the big guys up front. And that's what they're trying to do with this initial drive of the second half.
Robbie Valenzuela had to leave the game for Oregon for a moment, limping. He's on the sidelines now. The ball is thrown very quickly to the outside over there, and it's good for a first down, as Marshawn Lynch shows you there how elusive he can be. He puts the ball down near the Oregon 48-yard line.
And we're not talking about him being a freshman, but he is a freshman, but he's played a lot this year. Spelling Arrington and now showing his versatility. Splitting all the way out to the outside. Just a three-step drop by the quarterback. And the moves afterward. Great job there to get up the field, pick up the first down.
Put it on the 47-yard line of Oregon. First down for California. Run it. That's Lynch. He takes it to the 40. 7 yards on the carry.
And he's going to be a star. Already is showing what he can do, averaging 8.2 yards a carry. And you've got to make the first guy miss, and that's Oregon's top tackler, Jerry Mattson, middle linebacker.
Arrington comes back.
That's a pretty good 1-2 punch.
Storer is in at fullback. California fullbacks get a full day's work, don't they? Block, block, block. And once in a while, Mandarino slaps out and catches a pass. That's Arrington carrying the ball, and he's close to his first down, but it looks like the mark might be a little short. A yard. MacArthur had gone off. He comes back.
6 plays on this drive so far, Keith, for the Golden Bears. 5 of them on the ground, and they're just pushing Oregon all around up front.
Arrington is the single back. 3rd down and 1. Rogers keeps it. I don't think he made it. Nata turned him away. Give you some idea of the presence of Alute Nata. He's in the middle, of course, and he's on that side, but still the agility and athleticism that this big man has is quite remarkable.
Watch as he works his way down the line of scrimmage. Great feet. And once he gets in the arms of Rogers, he goes down. 4th and 1, and they're going to go for it.
And they're going to throw it.
It looks that way, and now they shift.
Now they'll shift it back, and that puts Arrington as the deep back. They might go to him. Oregon thinks they will, and they do, and he's got the first down and pops out. And I mean to tell you, it's a good thing those linebackers got a piece of him, or he'd have gone home. Mandarino was the man who banged the hole open for him. Evan Long had this comment, the Oregon defensive end, on playing against the guys like J.J. Arrington.
He's fast, man. He's just, and he hits the hole. He doesn't really stutter. He's not going to dance a whole lot. He's just going to pretty much go straight up the field and get the job done. And, you know, he doesn't go down easy from what I've been watching. So, you know, we got to play a little more discipline and take better angles to tackle him. And I think we should be all right.
Arrington wide open under that pass of Rogers, and it's just a little bit too long. So you can put that one, I think, on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he got the matchup he wanted. Arrington out of the backfield on a linebacker. But that's not where you normally will see Arrington going deep down the field, and this ball thrown about 2 yards too far. Ramon Reed in the trail position there.
Little quick pop over here to Jordan. Jordan losing his footing and just falls forward after making the catch, and the play amounts to literally nothing. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
And Rogers comes over and says, why did you fall down? And being a freshman, Robert Jordan's not going to say it's because you threw it so low. He's just going to get back in the huddle. 2 bad throws in a row for Aaron Rodgers. We don't see that very often.
Marshawn Lynch is on the field now. And he's out on this side as a wide receiver. Go the other way. Ball is caught by Jeff MacArthur. When you throw it in his neighborhood, he usually catches it. And he'll go down right about the 20-yard line, and Aaron Gibson gets one more tackle, and Aaron Rodgers is obviously not happy with things because he snaps his helmet loose.
But did you see how many ducks were around MacArthur once he caught that ball? Anthony Trucks with the tackle there from his linebacker spot.
We're going to get a field goal try now from Tom Schneider. This will be 37 yards. Reggie Robertson, the backup quarterback, who's a very good one, holds it. He was a starter here a couple of years ago. Schneider's kick is on the way. Hits the upright and missed it. So we had Jared Siegel hitting the upright and missing an extra point. And now Schneider hits the upright on a 37-yard field goal try, and he missed it. See if they bring MacArthur out for this go-round. He's out there. We know he's tender. Behind the stack, behind the bunch, if you will, they run Marshawn Lynch. And Oregon ate him up.
That's really the first time Cal has tried to go wide with the toss play. Very rare for them to try to do that, but they haven't had a lot of success running in the middle. But one thing about Tedford is he runs a play to set up a play. That type of action there is setting up the halfback pass. And remember, Tedford loves the halfback pass.
And Marshawn Lynch has been practicing it. And you've got Terrell Williams, who's a left-hander, who throws it from the other side. There's your run into the middle. Oh, look at him move that stack. Boy, he's strong. So we're looking at 3rd down and 5 now for the Bears. They're trying to generate some offense here in the 3rd quarter. They're down by 6, 27-21, Oregon leading. Ball is thrown out, and there's some room for Lynch. Lynch runs over young Jackie Bates. And then he put a knee on him and just planted him. It'll be a 1st down, and it's across midfield to the Oregon 49-yard line.
Well, one real good solid job of Aaron Rodgers finding his outlet receiver. And when you have a talent like this, you may look for him a little bit quicker, as he does right there. Full head of steam to get down the sideline.
Arrington back in the ball game as the deep back. Arrington has the ball. And JJ's good for 6. Looks like the spot will give him 5 from the 49 down to the 44. 3rd quarter has gone very quickly. We've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds to play. There's been a lot of running and no scoring. He may pass Chuck Munch's mark before he's finished for this season.
And I think you're right.
It goes again, a little skip step. But he only got 2 yards out of it. It's going to need 3rd down and 3 now to keep possession. You think they have in mind just trying to wear the Oregon Ducks defensive people down a bit here?
Well, you saw that the time of possession difference in the first half is about 7 minutes in favor of Oregon, but so far in the second half, you're right, Keith, it has been all Cal time of possession, almost even now.
Arrington comes this way as a wide out when they emptied the backfield here. And now on 3rd down and 3, Rodgers throws, ball is caught. Ball is caught beyond the marker. If he gets the spot, Jordan will have the 1st down. Matson hit him hard, but it's where you catch the ball, and they have put it down. Well, it's close enough that Jack Wood wants to bring the chains on and make sure, and he'll have to come from all the way across the field. But he's got a first down, I'm pretty sure. Running up the numbers. It is a first down.
Yeah, the Aggies better be careful now. Jason White's getting going, but we still haven't seen Adrian Peterson. There's a lot of time left in that one.
39-yard line of Oregon. First down, California. And coming up at 3:20 to go in the third quarter. Arrington, the single back for the Bears. Once again, Jordan, he's getting in his road work today. Rogers looking to throw, gets heat, throws, ball thrown to Arrington, and J.J. goes up and makes the catch in front of Anthony Trucks, and the gain is going to be about 3 yards. Second down, call it 8. Rogers throws. Jordan stepped away, didn't give that defender a chance to get a solid hit on him, and wound up fumbling the ball. And Oregon says, we've got it, and they do. He had his first down, but fighting for that extra yardage, he loses the ball.
Yeah, they've only fumbled 10 times all year. They've lost 8 of them now. Ball was punched out at the end there by Aaron Gibson. Struggling for extra yardage, getting close to the first down. Gibson is behind Jordan. Watch his right hand just punch it out. Heads up play by Aaron Gibson.
And the Ducks take over, first down at their own 30.
2 turnovers on the day for Cal now. None for Oregon.
Terrence Whitehead, the single back. Oregon leads by 6. Well, there were some folks moving before they were supposed to.
Yeah. False start against Oregon. Remember, Kniebel's out from the center spot.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty remains, first down.
It looked to me like that there were 2 or 3 Ducks that moved ahead of the ball, but as Dan said, you've got a new center, Reynoso, in there snapping the ball, and maybe the snap didn't come exactly on the count. You see Rosario start right there.
Everybody but the center.
Everybody but the center was ready to go.
That's not good.
It's first down and 15. Clemens throws down the middle, and he's going to pick up 6 yards on the catch by Marcus Maxwell. Our crowd today is 65,615. Good crowd. Option. Clemens keeps it. He ran over his own man. He got tangled up. He stumbled over Nick Stites. Stites had taken a defender and ridden him out of the play, but he was extended, and his extended leg was what Clemens tripped over.
That's really the first time that Clemens has not been able to pick up yardage either on that option or on the quarterback draw.
Here's an update, Dan, on that UCLA Washington State game. It's 31-16 now, Cougars.
That sounds like an alum report to me.
Lord, they need some help. Need something to turn for them. They've had very little going. Ball is incomplete. It was in the hands of Demetrius Williams, making his first appearance of the day as a wide receiver. Clemens put it on his hands or in his arms, and he just couldn't quite reel it in. He's a little tender.
Yeah, he's playing with turf toe. This ball is perfectly thrown, but the timing, he didn't get his head around in time to really get a good look at that one, and that's what happens when you miss practice.
Tim Mixon was the man that mixed it up with him. Return man Mixon is now way back there waiting for the punt, and it's a very, very high kick that is fair caught at the 30-yard line. So there California will have it. Ball is handed to the right side, and the pounding hooves of J.J. Harrington. Harrington runs into J.D. Nelson, and Mr. Nelson wrestles him down. But he's, Devin Long's right. He's fast, and he goes at you, giving you everything he's got.
There's just no way you bring him down with an arm tackle, and sometimes it takes more than one man.
He got 4. Second down 6. Again. Look at that. Came right out of the stack. One man to get him, and they do. Bates came across, Gibson tracked him down, and they kept him out of the end zone by the hair of their chinny chin chin. So it's a big, big play to close the third quarter for the California Golden Bears. Look down on Memorial Stadium, Strawberry Canyon, University of California, 65,615 here today, and they're seeing a good ball game. 27-21, Oregon is leading right now. Cal seems to have some momentum. The totals for J.J. Arrington today, he has 148 yards on 17 carries and a touchdown. So he's got 8 straight 100-yard games.
He's coming off a 188-yard effort against Arizona State just last week. But it's really shoddy tackling by the Ducks and just unbelievable desire by Arrington. That run, that 43-yarder there, he was stopped at the line of scrimmage and just refused to stop his legs.
Marshawn Lynch comes in here to work at the tailback position with fresh legs. The ball is on the 23 of Oregon, first down. Lynch has it, bounces, keeps on bouncing, and finally they're going to throw him down at about the 20, so that'll be a 3-yard pickup. Yeah, all that toe dancer stuff in traffic won't get you a whole lot.
Now Ron Gould is the running back coach. He played running back for Oregon, and he's got these guys cranked up. The effort that they're giving after they make contact with the defense, just remarkable.
Yep.
But the point you make about running sideways is when the ball gets away from your body and you're more susceptible to fumbling.
I once knew an old coach that'd see a back do that, and he'd say, give him a 2-2. Rodgers back to throw it. Oh, that was really short. J.J. Arrington catches the ball. His eyes, he looked right, and he came right across the field and finally got to Arrington and threw it to him. And Arrington was almost in the grip of Jerry Mattson when he caught it. Now here is number 87, John Rust, going off the field. He's been playing tight end. Looked like he might have been dragging a shoulder. I guess he's all right. Ball is on the 19-yard line, where it is third down and 6 with Mandarino and Arrington in the backfield. Mandarino is a good receiver. Rodgers looking, goes to the end zone, but a touchdown. Jeff MacArthur.
Now that time the Ducks double-teamed MacArthur, and it didn't do any good. He went right between the corner and the safety. Rodgers put it up high, and it's a spectacular catch for Jeff MacArthur. Working against the freshman Bates and the safety Finnessy. Finnessy just stopped on his coverage. Inside goes MacArthur for the easy score. What a catch.
Snyder's point, good. Well, capsulizing. Oregon scored 27 points in the first half. They led at halftime. California's come back in the fourth quarter to regain the lead at 28-27. The Bears ranked 4th in the nation. Here at home, looking at third down and 7. The ball is on the Oregon 23-yard line. Oregon now sees California come out on a crucial third down snap, and they see what the Bears bring to the field, the people they bring to the field, and they now spend a timeout to prepare defensively. there's a great mix and familiarity between these two coaching staffs. There are 6 people on the California staff, including Jeff Tedford, the head coach, and Bob Gregory, the defensive coordinator, and several other people who were on Mike Bellatti's staff. So everything that's going on today in this ball game literally stems from Mike Bellotti up at Oregon. So they know each other intimately. They can just almost dictate what's going to happen. But the problem is they don't know when it's going to happen.
But if there's ever a better example of the familiarity of these teams, the chess match that we talked about throughout the game, Tedford calls a timeout after Rogers looked at the Oregon defense. Cal comes out, adjusts. Oregon looks at Cal's offensive set. They call a timeout. Think this is a crucial 3rd down situation here?
Well, this is a big ball game within the Pac-10 conference because if USC continues undefeated and plays in the big game, then California figures to have a very good chance of going into the Rose Bowl. If they can win this game today, they will probably get to the Rose Bowl. Aaron Rodgers' pass is incomplete. And a penalty flag, and that might be interference.
Aaron Gibson saying, who, me?
Devin Long had the heat on Aaron Rodgers.
The question, though, is this ball catchable? The officials are conferring about that very point right now. The pressure from Long, they've not been able to sack Rodgers all day long, and Long hurried that throw. But what was the call?
They're standing back there talking to each other right now. Devin Long said.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers.
I'd like to hear their conversation. I'd like to hear this one, too.
You bet. Here it comes.
There is no foul on the play for pass interference. The pass has been ruled not catchable.
Not catchable. That will bring the field goal unit on the field.
Well, MacArthur had his man. Ball was thrown short and clearly not catchable. I didn't see the pass interference, but I did see that hit by Devin Long right there. I don't know what they called for pass interference. Good coverage by Gibson.
All right. Center stage, Tom Schneider, place kicker. He missed 1 from 37. This one is from 40.
Keep your eye on the big guy in the middle, Haloti Ngata, right there. Blocked a lot of kicks in his career.
Reggie Robertson, quarterback holder. Schneider hits it. It's on the way. No good. No good. Just wide. First down for the Oregon Ducks from their own 23-yard line. They're down by 1. Sack. Ryan Riddle nails the Oregon quarterback, Kellen Clemens. Oh, he had a clean shot, and he took advantage of it. The loss is back to the 14-yard line.
Another sack for Ryan Riddle. The Ducks have run 12 plays in this second half for 22 yards, 1 first down, no points. A totally different team than they were in the first half because the Bears want this one more.
Second down and 19 now. Back on the 14. Clemens throws. It's complete to Maxwell. And Maxwell hurdles to the sidelines, and he's had a good gain out of it, but he's going to be about 6-7 yards short of the first down. Third down and 6. Clemens option. Spinning. Got his first down. Brought down by Sverchek. So Kellen Clemens, who has been an indefatigable persona today for the Oregon Ducks, refusing to give up on that play, and he moved the chain.
Well, he saw the short corner here. I think he audibled to this option play. Once he gets down the line of scrimmage, Cal was thinking pass, so they actually stunted out of the hole there and gave Clemens the first down. What a conversion. Just their 4th out of 10 tries today.
Both teams with 2 times out remaining, coming up on 3 minutes to play in the ball game. Ball from the 35 out of the shotgun. Kellen Clemens looking, letting it go downfield. It is incomplete and almost intercepted. Kyle Weatherspoon running under the high lofted pass. Mixon defending, and Mixon almost stole it.
Yeah, this is a great reaction by Tim Mixon. A good example of zone coverage is he had the short zone, saw the ball in the air, and then responded and actually beat Weatherspoon to the spot.
In case it's wandering through your mind, with 2:57 to play, Jared Siegel's career long field goal, 59 yards.
And he's had a bunch of long field goals in his career at Oregon.
5 out of 9 at 50 plus. Right now, Oregon sends trips, so they'll bunch them up on this side. 3 of them. Clemens looking around, finds daylight. No, he doesn't. From the blind side comes Joe Meningo. And bingo, he got him.
And this will go down as a sack, another sack for Joe Meningo. Couple on the afternoon for him. It's just a real desire play. He's going to come right about here from the outside position. Number 9 beats Adam Schneider. Takes down the quarterback.
3rd down, 11 now for the Fighting Ducks. Protection's good, pass good down the middle to Weatherspoon. He went right into the heart of the California defense, split the defenders. Matt Giordano brought him down, and that's a 1st down. 2:11 to play in the ball game, and it's Oregon 1st down at their own 49-yard line.
Another huge conversion on 3rd down. Clemens did it on the run the last time. This time he got that great protection, Keith, and Weatherspoon found the spot.
Clemens throws incomplete. Colvin, the freshman, turned his head and banged. The ball hit him right in the numbers, but he couldn't handle it. Speed of the game. Biggest move, biggest change that a freshman has to face is the speed of the game.
The Bears have done a good job of taking away 2 very big weapons of Oregon. Tim Day and Dante Rosario have been non-factors here in the passing game in the 2nd half.
Well, Day's had a hurt foot, a sprained ankle. He's been out of action for quite a while. Here's Todd Harris.
Well, Keith, Tim Day is done basically for the day. The problem he has, and it's same as Robbie Knievel, he's got that bad ankle problem, and it's gone into his Achilles and his calf. So his calf is starting to tighten up. They said if he is not on that bike when the defense is out there, he will not play anymore. And so far, he is not moving. So his calf has been cramping up on him, exacerbating his ankle injury. Keith.
Thank you, sir.
So getting back to Jared Siegel, Keith, the Ducks need about 20 yards to get him to within about a 45, 48-yard field goal try. So that's what Belotti's thinking right now. You've got a 2nd down coming up. Obviously, that gives you 3 downs to get your field goal kicker close within his range. And remember, Siegel missed an extra point earlier. He was also guilty of a personal foul on a kickoff.
Clock to 2:01.
2:01 is the time that should be on. That was what the time was, and they also had to reset the game clock. So now they have the timing all in place properly, and Oregon will come up 2nd down and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Arizona looks like they're going to win their first Pac-10 game this year, beating Washington, leading them late. And a lot of head shaking going on in this conference today. Back goes Clemens trying to set up the screen, and it doesn't work. It's all cluttered up, and now you get the linesman throwing a flag.
Well, they tackled the screen. The man was Terrence Whitehead. The pass was intended for, and Lorenzo Alexander tackled him, and he got called. A lot of times this one goes unnoticed by the officials. Oregon runs a lot of screens. They've not been successful today running screens because Cal's been ready for them. This time they were too ready for it.
Holding. Defense number 76. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. 1st down.
Big penalty.
Here he is right here, Lorenzo Alexander, the senior. He sees the screen coming right about now, and he and Sid Slater are going to be guilty of holding Terrence Whitehead. That makes the Ducks feel a whole lot better and gives them a whole lot better shot at getting this man in range.
First down at the California 46. Clemens going down the middle with it, incomplete. Pass intended for Cameron Colvin, and he was double covered. There's Jared Siegel. There's the center, Knievel, who's hurt. Jared Siegel in the net, staying warm. That's almost intercepted. Not quite. Harrison Smith had a chance to intercept, intended for Colvin. Timeout, Oregon. They have one timeout remaining. They're behind by a point in the ball game, 28-27, 1:49 to play. Today's Chevrolet players of the game are Kellen Clemens of Oregon and Aaron Rodgers of California, the two quarterbacks. Recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet making a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
If Siegel has to kick a field goal, he'll be kicking into a slight breeze, but a breeze nonetheless. That's the end of the field, the north end, where he would be kicking. Right now, it would be a 58-yarder, which is really stretching the limit.
Yeah, but another first down, and then it becomes realistic.
Absolutely, Keith. Shows you what the importance of this game is right now for California and also for Oregon.
If.
Yes, sir.
Kipling-esque football.
Kellen Clemens has converted twice on third downs on this drive. He ran for 8 yards and he threw for 15. 3rd and 10 now.
And he's under center. With Whitehead. Rosario's back in, the ball thrown to the sidelines and thrown beyond the reach of Marcus Maxwell. Incomplete. And it is 4th and 10. With 1:44 to play, you got to send your guy out there and let him hit it, don't you?
I don't know, Keith. With that breeze in his face, it would be 58 yards from this spot. I think Bellotti likes his chances of converting. Still has one timeout if they do convert. And as you said, Keith, they would be in range then.
4th and 10. Rosario is the single back. He's a blocker. Got it. No! He dropped it. Keith Allen had it in his hands down at the 25-yard line, and he dropped it. My goodness.
The senior, Keith Allen, dropping a perfect pass from Kellen Clemens, will hand the Bears this win. Wide open, right on the 8. Heartbreak. Absolute heartbreak. And relief for the old blue.
A football game is little more than life in microcosm, man. So that happens at 1:39 to play in the ball game. Oregon with one timeout remaining. The California Bears just want to nudge the ball, get it down on the ground, get the whistles blowing, and get the clock running. And Oregon, of course, will spend that last timeout and hope that a miracle waits for them. We saw one similar to this as they kept running the ball in that Washington State-Arizona game back early in the season.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, in one of those plays, the ball came flying out, and bingo, you could lose it.
Now, I guarantee you there are going to be a series of kneel downs now for Aaron Rodgers. Jared Siegel never quite got the shot at a winning field goal. Heck of a game, though, huh, Keith? Back and forth. Oregon was all over Cal in that first half, and Cal showing that they intend on playing on January 1st with their effort in the second half.
Well, Southern California is playing up at Corvallis, Oregon tonight. And there's some of us who sense that might be an ambush waiting. You never know. And California, if they hold on now to win this, go to 7-1. They came into this game today ranked 4th in the BCS poll and 4th in the writers poll. Southern California, of course, undefeated. Oklahoma had a hard time today down at Texas A&M. Oregon Ducks will go to their second conference loss, so they remain in the hunt quite likely for the Holiday Bowl. And you have to realize that USC might go on to play in the championship game of the BCS against somebody, and that would leave a spot in the Rose Bowl.
California might sneak into that Orange Bowl game too.
It's possible still.
It's a big if.
It could happen. Like I said, Kipling has football. Rogers gives the ball away to J.J. Arrington, who has been a thoroughbred today. He's been hammered, and he's been jumped on, and he keeps jumping up and keeps running hard, and he's crowding. Well, he's got 184 yards now, so he's earned his supper.
Yeah, they had 188 last week.
Those of you who have not seen him, that fellow that was kneeling there or had his hands on his knees on the sidelines, that's Jeff Tedford, who is probably the hottest name in the coaching ranks. There's all sorts of speculation whirling around him. You know, every pundit in the world thinks they're smarter than the next one, so they're forecasting this and forecasting that. But they're doing everything in the world they can to keep things together here in California, because the return of the Golden Bears has been quite welcome and quite exciting for the Pac-10 Conference. And time now is called by California. They will have one remaining. But time is their ally right now at 52 seconds, and they have the ball.
And Keith, a lot of the players that have stepped up today were recruited and brought to Berkeley by Tom Holmoe. So he deserves some credit for the player and the players that Jeff Tedford is working with now.
There's been another upset of sort today in the Pac-10 Conference, where Washington State defeated UCLA 31-29. Bruins were down big at one time in that ball game, but came back and came up just 2 points short. So here's the Pac-10 scores of the day. You see Mike Stoops getting a win, his first in the Pac-10 Conference for Arizona, 23-13 over Washington. Stanford, Arizona State just getting underway. USC plays at Oregon State tonight, and the score I just told you. Here's a look at the California schedule for the remainder of the year. 3 games left. They go to Seattle next week. Then they have the big game against Stanford, and then they have to go to Hattiesburg, Mississippi to play Southern Miss. That's a makeup of the game that they lost to the Hurricane. So remember, that can be a wart. I mean, that can be a big-time bump in the road, because Southern Miss is a pretty good football team, and it's down there. 3rd down and 4 now for California, and penalty flags all over the field. It was 3rd down and 4. If it's a penalty of 5 against Oregon, it'll give California a 1st down. But Oregon's indicating now that it's going to go against the Bears, and that usually would be something in the neighborhood of, that.
They had too many men on the field, didn't they?
Well, I think that's what he said, but that's I'm surprised at that. I thought somebody might have moved on the left side of the line.
I count 12 guys out on the field right now.
Do you? You can't count.
Well, well, let me tell you, there goes the 12th guy off the field right now. It's John Russ. So apparently I can count. That Jesuit education I got at St. Ignatius just came in handy there.
Well, that's a big penalty, and it's a silly penalty to come down on you.
Now,
at the #1 public institution in the country.
We've seen so many
illegal participation offense. 12 men participated in a play. 15-yard penalty.
And I have never seen 12 men on offense on a play. I mean, the quarterback's got to be saying, hey, this huddle's a little crowded, isn't it?
My goodness. Well, the clock runs now, and we're inside 40 seconds, and California holding a 1-point lead at 28-27, and they're looking at third down. So hold your breath if you, no matter who you are, hold your breath. That'll be fourth down. But you see, Oregon doesn't have a timeout remaining. They can't stop the clock. And now you can exhale. The ball game is over. The clock will tick off the remaining 10 seconds. And the California Golden Bears, the 4th-ranked team in the country, barely escapes the angry Oregon Ducks by a score of 28-27.